I was thinking of when you mentioned Yang's proposal there. I was thinking I just recently watched. Have any of you seen the new Twilight Zone that has Jordan Peele as the host?
I have
TNT?
not.
I've seen one.
Which
There's
one did
no
you see?
way it holds up.
I would need a
compared to
memory
old ones.
boost on that. Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
he's a
so I
comedian,
watched-
I think.
That's the one I haven't watched. That's episode 1 actually. So it's cool. I did not want to buy the CBS streaming service, but Kitty really likes all of their nonsense TV shows, so she subscribed.
CBS.
CBS.
My mistake. Okay.
Yeah. And so now I have access to Star Trek Picard, which I wanted to see anyway. So and like see everything CBS has ever done, you know, as far as their television shows, which is slim pickings if you're me, because I don't like most of that garbage. I don't need to see Young and the Restless from a decade ago. But I saw that they had the Twilight Zone, the new one. There's 1 season, 3 stars. So I didn't have very high expectations. And I watched 3 or 4 episodes. A lot of them seem to have very liberal undertones where they're like one of them, all the men become very toxic because of meteors and they become very rapey and violent. And I was like, okay, you're really slapping us in the face with it, huh? But one of them that I liked was this campaign manager fails at getting this guy elected president when he thought he was gonna do it. And so he's become an alcoholic, he's drinking. And then this child, this literal like 9 or 10-year-old makes a YouTube video like, hey, I'm Timmy and I want to run for president. Here's what I promise. And the video gets like 12 million views. And he's like, yes. So he goes to Timmy's house and he's like, look, worst case scenario, talking to the parents, worst case scenario, if I represent you, you're going to get so much money from endorsement deals and advertising. His college is going to be paid for. His sister's college is going to be paid for. And their grandchildren's colleges will be paid for. Like that's the worst thing that can happen. And technically, Mrs. Timmy, his mom, your name's going to be on the ballot, but we're running him as the candidate. And they're like, all right, we're in. Long story short, they elect a like 10-year-old to be the president of the United States. And one of his campaign promises was free video games for everyone. And everyone was laughing at that. They thought it was really cute. Then he's in the Oval Office and he's like, all right, first thing, we got to fulfill my campaign promises. Free video games for everyone. And they're like, Timmy. He goes, Mr. President. And they kind of chuckle. Oh, Mr. President. We can't just give free video games to everyone. Either you do it, or we put $1 million surcharge on every Game Boy, and we put them out of business. Do it. and so like the weeks go by and like everybody's getting real concerned, especially the campaign manager, and he's talking to like one of the Joint Chiefs, the military guy, right? And he's like, aren't you a little worried about this? And he's like, what you're saying is sounding a lot like treason, mister. Look, I don't care if it's a child, a dog, or a grown man. He's the president of the United States. Everybody loves his promises. Those video games, everybody loved them. Everybody loving them. All right? He's killing it in the polls. I do what that man says. He's like, but he's a boy. President, Mr. President. He's like, fuck, everybody has bought into this but me. And he goes to the kid's mom. He's like, look, Timmy may be sitting behind that desk, but you're actually the president of the United States. Do you think you could rein him in? She's like, why would I want to do that? Everything's going so well. I would never get in Timmy's way. And it's like, oh my God, I fucked up. The president of the United States is a 10-year-old child and he is a brat and he's a maniac. Like for one of the first things he does is he passes a law. Like he doesn't like old, they're like, Mr. President, you got to get a physical. It's required by Congress. He's like, no, you cancel the appointment permanently. And as a matter of fact, no more old doctors. Make it happen.
No more old
and they're like,
doctors.
fuck.
Old starts at 27.
No. That's too old because Timmy's 10. Old men start at much older than 10 to much younger than 27 to a 10-year-old.
That was my joke. I didn't expect to go lower.
It happened. Oh yeah. It's a lot of that stuff. And Timmy becomes a real scary guy because everybody just does what he says. It's a good episode.
There was
I
an
liked
old Twilight Zone that the kid had a superpower, but it was similar.
Yep.
I remember
everybody was afraid of
him. Yeah.
Where everybody's in the house and he like makes them have dessert for breakfast for whatever the fuck.
He turns somebody into like a disgusting inside out monster, and they're like, "That's real good what you did. That's real good. Yes, we all like the thing you did. It's real.
Yes, we
good."
all like the thing you did.
And they're all just terrified of the kid because he'll just wish you into oblivion if he feels like it, or blow you up or something. Yeah.
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 Well, maybe I'll try that show out. I don't know. It doesn't sound nearly as good as the old stuff.
It's
Sounds
not.
a little-
Although, like I said, one of the cool additions was you can watch it in black and white. Like there's 10 episodes, I think, and they show if you just keep scrolling past number 10, it starts over again, but they're all in black and white. I've watched 4 of them. They're so, and I really like the original.
Remember you outlined early in the story, the worst case scenario, it goes kind of viral and college is paid for. That's Rebecca Black's real life. That's what they did with that money. I don't know if it changed as she entered college age, but yeah, she's like, I've made enough to go to school now. And like, that's kind of neat, I thought. People making fun of her. She dropped out of school. She got bullied a lot. They kept saying it was Friday.
It's the Friday chick, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess she is it worth it if you're a teenager? I wonder. I would like to hear adult her.
I bet she made a lot of. She probably made close to $1 million.
That's a lot of views, though, right?
It's not about the
she had
views,
more
though.
than that. She had endorsement deals, I'm sure. Like she probably made $800,000 or something like that. That's a ton of money for a 15-year-old to like get life started.
Yeah,
like that can be accruing interest while you go and get through.
As opposed to most kids who
school.
start with like negative 40,000 coming out of college. Yeah,
yeah. If you're lucky, negative 40.
Right. Yeah. It could be a lot more than that. You're right. I didn't want to say 100 because that seemed like a lot, but it happens.
Yeah.
She's still got a YouTube channel.
She making videos?
She's probably still making money off it.